Welcome to this channel. My name is Omolade Adeyemi. I am the CEO of Lariche Designs. If you are new to this channel, you need to subscribe, like, and share because we are going to be dropping new videos. But we are starting with the elementary, like how to use your machine, how to pass the needle, how to pass your thread, and so on and so forth. We would like you to keep watching our videos. Always like it, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe, and drop your comments at the comment sections of every of our videos. Welcome back. My name is Omolade Adeyemi, the CEO of Lariche Design. The next thing we are going to do today is how the different type of necklines, and I want to start with the U-neck. It's something we call the U-neck. So I want to start with the U-neck. The measurement I'm going to use today is just an assumed measurement. But I'm not saying that is the measurement for you or for me. So I'm assuming this measurement. Okay. Before we can cut our neckline, we fold our fabric into two. And let me just use this as the... Let me say I'm cutting a neckline for blouse. Okay, let's say I'm cutting a neckline for blouse. So, and this is our blouse length. Let me say this is our shoulder to waist line. Let me use 8 inches. The shoulder to waist line, and we have a shoulder of 6 inches, shoulder of 6 inches. So the distance, the wideness of our neckline, let's say I'm using 2.75 for the wideness. Depends on how wide you want your neckline to be. Let's say I'm using 2.75 for the wideness, and I'm using 3 inches length for the 3 inches for the length of my neckline. So I'm doing a U-neck. So I'll place my ruler this way and shape it like this. Shape it like this. So let me cut that out. I hope you've gotten that shape. So let me just use this. Let me cut this out. Now I'm cutting the neckline out. Cutting it out. So I'm cutting out the neckline out. Sorry, I need to shape all this part. So I'm showing you the outcome of my neck. So this is my neckline. So beautiful. So that's that about this type of neckline. And we are going to the next one. The next one is I'm doing the V shape. The V kind of neckline. I'm also assuming this to be 7 inches because I want to manage my fabric. And like I said earlier, I'm using 6 inches as my shoulder. So, and the wideness of my neck is 2 3/4 as used earlier. So the length of my V is, let's say I'm using 4.5 for the length of my V. We have 2 different kind of V. We have a V-neck that looks this way. You have a V-neck, don't mind me, I'm using my table. A V-neck that looks this way, and we have a V-neck that also looks this way. Sorry, this way, this way. So you can see we have two different things here, and both is called V-neck. So the difference is that this kind of V is sharp, and this one is a little curvy before it gets to the end. This one is a little curvy before it gets to the end. So that's the kind of V-neck we have. So I'm doing the sharp one first. So I've taken the wideness, which is 2.75, and I'm using length 4.5. So now I want to shape out my neck, which is this way. I'm using the straight part of the ruler. I'm using the straight part of the ruler to curve out the V. You see, this is my V, and I'm shaping it out. I'm cutting it out. Just cut it out. So, cutting it out. Look at the V. Look at the V, so beautiful. I love this kind of V. It looks so sweet and beautiful. So that's the first kind of V. That's the sharp type. And the next one is I'm doing the curvy one. So stay tuned. So the next one is the curvy V-neck, the curvy type, the curvy one. So like I said earlier, I'm using length 8 as our blouse or gown length. So we're still maintaining the measurement, the 6 inches measurement. And the 2 3/4 inches wideness. So I'm using length 4.5. Like I said earlier, I'm doing the curvy V. The curvy V. That one is a little curvy. So look at the way I place my taper. I place it this way. You know, the first one I did, I used the straight part of my ruler to shape up. But this time around, I'm using the curvy part of my ruler to shape it out. Mind you, at the end of each shape of the V-neck, it has to give you that that V look. So it's going to be like this. The V look has to be there. Wow. So I want to show you the difference. Look at the difference between the two. Look at the first one I just did. Look at the difference. You can see this second one is a little wide. It's a little wide, but the first one is sharp. It's so sharp, slant, straight. So let me cut this other one and you look at the outcome. So this is also beautiful. Let me show you the
the other one. Let me compare it and place it beside each other and you see it yourself. Look at the curvy one, look at the sharp one. I know you like to choose in between, but for me, I love this. And you can like this, it's your choice. So that's that about the V-neck. Neckline I'm going to teach is the sweetheart neck. The sweetheart neck, like I said, I'm using shoulder 6. I'm using shoulder 6. And I'm using the wideness. This time around, let me use 3. I don't know, I just want to use 3. 3 as the wideness. And 4 as the length.
Hold on, please hold on. In case you don't know, we have an online fashion institute. We are going to teach you full pattern drafting training. We are going to take you from the scratch, how to use your machine, to the climax. You're going to be the best designers in town. For more information, visit our website on www.larichedesigns.com.
So for sweethearts, we have different kind of sweetheart, but I'm choosing one. So we have this kind. You come this way. You come this way, like this. Then come like this, like this. And this one is going to curve. I'm going to make this curve a little and shape it down to the main line. So this is it. So let me cut that out. Cutting it out. Cutting it out. I love sweetheart. I love sweetheart neck. I love sweetheart neck. I love sweetheart neck so much. This is especially for my natives. Love sweetheart neck. This is the outcome. Fashion designing is so interesting, so creative. So this is sweetheart neck. I hope you love this. So let's do the last one. I'm going to teach on neckline, which is the Kano neck. The Kano neck. The Kano neck is always wide. Neckline, let me mark the shoulder. We're using shoulder 6. We're using shoulder 6. And most of the time, Kano neck is always the distance between the neck, the shoulder, the shoulder seam is always very small. The shoulder seam is always very small. Some make use of, some do 1.5. I mean, from the shoulder they measure 1.5. Some do 2 inches, and some do 1 inch. It depends on how short, but most of the time it's not always more than this 1.5. But for that Kano to come out perfectly. And the length of Kano neck is not always long. It's not always dropping like drop. So for this size, let me say I'm using 2 inches. This is for a smaller size. So for my size, for let's say for an adult size, I can use 3.5. I can use 3, so that it won't choke me. I can use 3.5. I can use 3 inches for the length. So let's say this is still a child shoulder, so I'm using 2 inches for the wideness, and I'm using a shoulder seam of 1.5 for the shoulder. So that's from here to this point. So I'm shaping out my Kano neck. Kano neck is always wide. It's always wide. Kano neck is always wide. So like this. Let me cut it out. You love it. It's a beautiful neckline. It's always beautiful. most of the time for my English wear or for my blouse. So it's come beautiful. So let's come out so beautiful. So let me open that bra. So this is the Kano neck. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.
Thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate you if you keep watching the videos. And note, we'll be doing giveaways at every point of our achievement. And we want you to keep watching, and keep watching. And if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe. Extend your love to us by liking every of our videos. Subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. And very important, you need to drop your questions, your observations, and comment on that comment section. Thank you.